So let's go ahead and get comfortable in whatever way that you enjoy sitting. So that can be any way at all. Legs crossed in a chair, feet on the floor, remembering that you do not need to maintain any kind of a fixed posture. It's ideal to just be as relaxed as possible. And we're going to go ahead and begin with the breath. So close your eyes. And feel the inhalation. And notice how far it goes by itself. And just noticing it to move more fully into the body. So you're giving it a very light amount of attention and effort so that the breath can expand in its length and in its width. And the exhalation will happen by itself. There isn't any need to push the breath in any direction, in or out. Really, it's a gentle invitation for moving the breath inward. So allowing it to pass through the rib cage, expand in the torso, reach down into the belly, through the belly, touching the belly and all the way into the hip carriage. And allowing the breath to continue down into the legs and into the feet. So the breath is just moving. If you've been joining me for these sittings for a while, by now you've already noticed that the breath has its own rhythm. So you allow it to establish its own rhythm, almost as if it moves in a wondrous circular direction. Inhaling the front side of the body and then exhaling out the back side of the body. Or whatever it is for you, just allowing the breath to extend, to expand, to reach into those parts of the body where it may not usually go. And in doing so, we're including every part of who we are in this body-mind system. So the breath is an invitation. It's welcoming every part of you to be here. Now just check for a moment to see if you can hear your breath. And if you can hear your breath, you may be efforting a tad too much. So soften the effort and let yourself relax. Relax, relax, relax. So you're allowing yourself to relax into the background, the back space, where there is no effort required. Just receding into the back space to the watching presence. This aspect of you that is very potent, very powerful, and is able to notice, witness, observe the breath. For now, we're just looking at the breath. We're noticing how the breath moves It has its own rhythm and it's moving gently through the body. And there's a part of you, an expansive space of you, the background space, that is able to observe and notice the breath as it's moving. Allow yourself to recede as this background presence, watching, noticing, and at the same time, not getting involved, meaning there's no need to tinker with the breath. So let's allow this same posturing, the same attitude, let's say, of not getting involved, of just noticing, to treat thought, sensation, energy in the body, pain or discomfort, whatever may be here for you, to treat it the same way, noticing without getting involved. So it's as if presence, this background space of being, is an open hand. It's open and able to observe all these different parts. Even here where I'm sitting, I don't necessarily notice a difference between inside and outside. And it may be the same for you, that as you recede and recede, that you don't notice where you begin and where you end. It's as if the boundary of the physical body becomes transparent. So in the environment, there isn't a boundary on it. It's as if the inner expands to the outer, but there is no difference. So I can hear the traffic in the distance. And as you recede, recede more fully as the back space of presence, at the same time you become more sensitive to the sounds, to the energies, to whatever might be happening in your environment, whether you call it your inner environment, what may be sensed as what's happening only inside of you, and then what's happening in what you might call your outer environment, the physical space in which you're sitting in. But what I want to invite is for you to allow that boundary, the sense of a boundary, to become more and more transparent. You can let the boundary of you dissolve. That when it is needed, it will return, not to worry. So that you can take in the totality of the environment of you without the sense of separation. So that here, it's as if while you recede deeper and deeper, it's not really a direction, although I'm saying recede to the backspace. Stay with me on this and notice that the receding is really more or less a dissolving, a sinking, a disappearing of the sense of a boundary. So it's not that you're really going backward. There isn't really a back space and a front space. There's only space. And as you experience yourself more and more as space, it becomes impossible to find a boundary. Now, in this space, there may still be energetic sensations. There may be doubt that rises. There may be worry. There may be concern. There may be an energetic sense of anxiety, especially if this is new for you. The invitation to just be space, to let go, or to watch the boundary of you dissolve. So, whatever these energies are, you don't need to try to prevent them from happening in any way. In fact, it's a beautiful and wonderful opportunity to allow whatever energy is here to unpack itself, to just be here completely without any need to understand it, to make any interpretation. Now, as soon as you feel or sense or notice the activity of interpreting or critiquing or trying to understand, just soften around that energy as this expansive space of noticing. Just see how that energy can either dissipate, expand, or gets integrated into space. Just let it do whatever it needs to do, trusting that this totality, this expansive space that you are, has a tremendous intelligence. It knows what to do. It knows how to manage. So all you're doing is relaxing as the space and watching anything that arises that might be traveling through the space of you. For me, I notice still the distant traffic. I can notice mm, there's really no description at this moment. There's just light energy, just lightness, fullness, filling itself out. It's very, very soft, gentle, empty space that welcomes everything, and it lifts the breastbone. This space that you are loves to lift your breastbone. It loves to expand the chest. It loves to fill out the muscles between the ribs. It loves to expand and include every part of you. It loves to reach out the back side of the back. It loves to just let feeling, energy, motion out the back side of the body. Its greatest joy is to fill the body with light. It loves to give birth to the newness of you, to the fullness of you. Its movement is to expand. Even though contraction may take place from time to time, the energetic sensation of the totality of you is to expand, is to bring light to wherever there may be darkness. Its joy is to shine the light of you into the furthest reaches of your body, your mind, of your soul. This is its delight. It's to give birth. It's a birthing mechanism. What you are is a birthing mechanism. And in this birthing of light, any part that has been denied, turned away from, or suppressed is able to be brought forth to the surface. It's able to come into this expansive space of newness, of light, of birthing, and to be seen exactly for what it is. In this space where the conditioned part of the mental mechanism of the mind is on pause. It's not needed. It can always come back later, but for now, we're letting critique, interpretation, the mechanism that wants to grab on and understand, we're letting all of that rest. So there isn't any effort to be here without a boundary. So let yourself illuminate yourself by this light that's already here, this light of your expansive presence, illuminating, birthing all parts of you anew, afresh. And allowing whatever grievances, whatever sorrows, whatever unfulfilled wants and needs to be here also, not to be denied. So you can let them come into the light of your presence and be washed through simply by noticing, allowing all of this to be here and whatever it wants to do. So if there is a feeling of any kind at all, you can let it be here. You see, it's all happening in this gracious space of illuminated presence, very expansive space that never changes. It's always the same, always here. And it may feel as though there are these different parts, feelings, emotions of all kinds, energetic sensations, joys, sorrows, pain, openness. And it's only when we contract around it, the mind comes in and says, this shouldn't be happening, especially now on this joyous holiday of new birth, of celebrating the birthing of you, the totality of you. But it's often these special moments, these special holidays that bring out our most tender feelings, our sensitivities, our care, our love, our deepest desires for those that we love, for the people that are close to us in our lives. And this tenderness is our beauty. Our sensitivities are the most essential part of being human. Our culture teaches us to numb these sensitivities through accomplishment, through acquisition, through the multi-marketing schemes of purchasing happiness or joy, something to cover up our sensitivities. There's nothing wrong with gifts. Don't get me wrong on this. But the truest gift, continuous birthing of you, the birthing of your light, of your inclusiveness, of your sensitivity, your tenderness. It's very tender, tender feelings that touch us and touch all of the humans that we're able to encounter. And we come to these sensitivities by allowing the mind that feels it must do this and that, to simply pause and allow the breath to lift the breastbone, the torso, the chest, the rib cage, the wonderful carriage for the heart of our sensitivities, the heart of tenderness. It doesn't matter if this heart is actually shared in a direct one-on-one fashion. It only matters that you share it with yourself, that you be true to you, that you let your own heart be birthed anew, to allow whatever may have been suppressed, withheld, denied, contracted, to flush out, to be washed open anew. And when this happens, our heart, our tenderness, our sensitivities are not only then open to us, they are naturally open to others, because then we're the openness, we're the open, expanded presence of love that does not come from anything outside of who we are. That is our greatest delight, our greatest joy, our greatest tenderness. It's the deepest basket of nourishment. It's the nourishment that, when brought to the table of Christmas, of whatever holiday you may be celebrating, but it's when this basket is brought to the table that the deepest nourishment takes place. Because with it, there is not an expectation. Nothing is needed. Nothing is wanted in return. Because this is directly from the source of you. This is the source of you. So for the last part of this guided meditation, I'd like to invite you to go deeper still, to feast to the depths of you, to savor however much expansion is felt, to savor this. And if that isn't the case for you, to have absolutely no concern whatsoever, to let that aspect of the mind be on pause, and to delight in whatever feelings, energies, whatever is here for you is just perfect for you. Not to look for anything different. And if you notice yourself looking for something to be different, just notice that it's not a problem. Soften around it. And again, let yourself recede. 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 empty, empty, empty. And in this emptiness is where you are born anew. Empty, empty, empty. No boundary. Forever birthing the newness, the light of you, not separate, all inclusive, already the totality. Now, before we close this meditation, I want you to just notice how you are different and just gently checking. Notice the spaciousness throughout the body. I want to give you one more thing for today. And because we did expand so extensively, I want you to imagine using your creative imagination and surround yourself as you come more fully into your body, into the physical part of you, to let this physical boundary that is able to come in now as we're going to go into functionality, to just give it a light layer of light. Imagine an energetic bubble, if you will, of protection, of light, of softness. It's not a hard boundary in any way. It's just very light. Gift yourself with this so that you can remember that what you are is light, and that you don't need to let anything interrupt or drain from the gift of light that you are. You can give freely from here. So just notice that. Let the physical body be here. The mind will come as it will. It's not a problem. Functionality returns to the space that's always here, in sleep, in wakefulness, and everything in between. It's very wonderful spending this time like this. Thank you for giving this to yourself.